If you're thinking about relocating to Phx, Arizona, I'm going to sit here and tell you in this pros and cons video what it's really like to live in the Valley of the Sun. Information that you definitely want to know before you pack your bags, load your car, and make that big move. By the way, my name is Yolanda Street. I'm part of the Living in Phoenix team. I get calls, texts every day from people just like you that's wanting to relocate to Phoenix and the surrounding suburbs. If you're thinking about moving here in the next 12 months, 6 months, 6 weeks, or even 6 days, definitely reach out to me so I can make your transition as smooth as possible and answer any questions that you may have. We're going to go ahead and kick this pros and cons video off at one of our popular spots. We're here sitting at the Desert Botanical Gardens that's surrounded by beautiful desert plants, mountains, beautiful outdoor weather. What better day to be out here today when the weather's just beautiful? Which brings me to pro number one, weather. Here in Arizona and the surrounding areas, we get more than 300 days of sunshine. What does that mean? That means hanging out outside, hiking, riding bikes, here at the Botanical Gardens, the zoos, sitting by the pool, just hanging out, just anything you want to do, any day you choose for over 300 days out of the year. Now keep in mind, there's 365 days in a year. So can you imagine being outside, able to hang out whenever you want for more than 300 days out of the year? What also does that mean? You don't have to worry about shoveling snow. You don't have to worry about days off of work, days out of school because it's too cold outside. And you don't have to worry about any of the disasters that come with winter because we don't have it here in Arizona. A lot of the kids go to school in the winter. They're wearing little sweaters or hoodies. Some people that are from colder places, they tend to wear shorts year round. So just being here in Phoenix and the surrounding areas, you have plenty of opportunity and plenty of choices to stay wherever and wear whatever you want to wear and be outside. So if you're definitely an outdoors person, Arizona is definitely a place that you want to be. Pro number two, property taxes. If you want to save money, you're definitely going to save it with the property taxes here in Arizona. Arizona is one of the states that have the lowest property taxes compared to many of the other states. You may find that your property taxes are anywhere from $1,800 to $2,000 when the same exact house in the same exact price point may be $6,000 to $7,000 in many other states. So if you want to keep money in your pocket, property taxes is definitely a way to save, and it makes it more affordable for you to even become a homeowner here in Arizona. Pro number three, growing job market. Phoenix is one of the fastest job markets growing throughout the country. We have major growth in healthcare, tech fields, manufacturing, finance, education, and many companies are moving their headquarters here to Arizona because of the weather we do have. They don't have to worry about delays with deliveries and cold weather or anything like that. So a lot of people are coming here to Arizona. And what does that bring? That's bringing extra jobs in all different types of positions. Like I said, healthcare, tech, manufacturing. Jobs are opening here in Phoenix and the surrounding areas because of everybody that's relocating here. Right now, we're in the process of getting our big Buc-ee's, our first Buc-ee's. For those who don't know Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's is a big gas station, but it's really not. It is a gas station, but it's not a gas station. It's not the average gas station. Buc-ee's is a place that has more than 120 gas pumps, anywhere from 75 to 100 restroom stalls. Buc-ee's is known for the cleanest restrooms when it comes to gas stations in the world. Buc-ee's is now in like Tennessee, Texas, Alabama, but this is our first one coming to Arizona. It's actually going to be in the Goodyear area. And along with Buc-ee's coming, that one Buc-ee's is going to bring more than 200 job positions for people that's here in the Valley. That's just a prime example of one thing coming to Arizona that will bring positions for people relocating here. Definitely, I'm going to be talking about in another video all the big companies that are coming here and the best places to live in those areas. So if you're interested in moving here and you want to know what big companies that are coming here, definitely subscribe below, hit the bell so you never miss out on another video. That will definitely be a video you want to check out if you're thinking about relocating here to Arizona. again, with the growth we're having, it gives you the stability that you need, gives you options to advance in your career. So definitely, job market is a pro when it comes to relocating here to Arizona. Number 4, housing. We have all different types of housing. We have retirement, 55 and plus communities. We have master plan communities. We have areas for growing families. We have areas for professionals. And along with those areas, all of our houses are in different price points. We have price points of homes anywhere from the 300s to the luxury price points of over $1 million. So no matter what suburb you live in, whether it be Phoenix, which is a huge area, north, south, east, West Phoenix, or even downtown, if you want a high rise, you're going to find all different price points, and you're going to find the same variety of price points in many of our suburban and surrounding cities. Number 5, cultural diversity. Cultural diversity is one thing that's continuing to grow here in Arizona. And what I mean by that is there's always something different going on here in Arizona that deals with all different cultures and different types of people and things that they bring that a lot of people here may not know about. We have a lot of influences from Native American cultures, Hispanic cultures, Southwest heritage that surrounds our food, the festivals that we have, architecture that we have, and there's always some type of cultural event going on here in Arizona. So moving here is one thing, but moving here and being able to become diverse or even raise your children diverse or anything like that, you're definitely going to find that Arizona is a good place to do that, and is continuing to grow in the cultural area. Number 6, easy travel. Now, if you are wanting to take a road trip or a flight, just know that Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is one of the best airports in the country to maneuver through and travel through. We have a SkyTrain at the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport that will take you from Terminal 3 to 4, which is our 2 terminals that go international flights and domestic flights. It takes you to the rent-a-car place, the Greyhound bus station. It takes you to our public transportation. It's called the SkyTrain. So if you're trying to maneuver through Sky Harbor Airport, it's definitely an airport that's easy to maneuver through. Now, if you're wanting to take a day trip or a weekend trip, there's plenty of options for that. If you're wanting to take a weekend trip to just say Las Vegas, you're going to find that depending where you are in Phoenix, Las Vegas is about 4 hours away. California is about 6 to 6.5 hours away, whether you're going to the LA area or San Diego area. You're going to find that if you're wanting to go to Texas, it's going to be one freeway, which is the I-10 all the way to Texas. That may not be a good weekend trip because it's definitely a little longer, but I wanted to bring up Texas because it's the same I-10 you're going east as the I-10 that you would take going west to take that 6-hour trip to California. Now, if you're interested in taking a day trip at a little bit closer spot, let's talk about some of those places. So if you're trying to go somewhere where there's beaches and you don't want to travel 6 hours to California, just know that you can travel to Mexico. Rocky Point, Mexico is about 3.5 to 4 hours away, depending on where you are in Phoenix. And keep in mind, you may need a passport, or they say passports now, but I know as of now, they still take like a birth certificate and your ID. But ideally, it's a passport that you're going to want to have, and you could go and once you enter there, there's beaches and resorts and definitely a beautiful place to hang out. So if you've never tried out Mexico and you're here in Arizona, it's definitely 4 hours. That saves you 2 hours from going to California. And Mexico is a lot cheaper. You can do some of the same activities there that you can do in California, like whether you want to jet ski or hang glide or anything like that, off-roading. You can do all that stuff in California, but you can also do it in Rocky Point, and the rate is going to be a lot cheaper. So it makes it more affordable for families who want to do a shorter trip or a quicker trip and still have some of the same activities. Now, if you're trying to go to Flagstaff, say you're from the snow or you've never been to snow, the Flagstaff is available. The Snow Bowl is there in Flagstaff. Depending on where you're coming from Phoenix, it's going to be about 2 hours and 15 minutes to get to Flagstaff. If you're trying to hit Prescott, you're going to be at about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Also, snow in Prescott. They have a nice downtown area that has different eateries. Payson is about 1.5 hours If you want to go to Payson, a little bit further, maybe about another 20 minutes into Strawberry, Arizona, who has this wonderful pie place that's nationally owned. If you want to go to Tombstone, Arizona, that's going on the I-10 headed toward Tucson. Tombstone is going to be that western town, great place to visit. It's about 3 hours away. And then, of course, if you're trying to hit our Grand Canyon is going to be about 4 hours away. And you have Williams up there where you can take the train into the Grand Canyon. There's horseback riding into the Grand Canyon. There's guided tours into the Grand Canyon. So all of those are definitely great for day trips. But all those places you can also stay overnight. You can do some camping. Whatever you see fit for you and your family is definitely close, whether you're going for the day or whether you're making it a weekend. And all those places are definitely going to be cooler spots. So if you're trying to get out of the hotter weather during the summer, all those places will definitely be cooler spots to visit during the summer. Or if you want to go when it's colder, those are definitely going to be a lot cooler than what we get directly here in the Valley of the Sun, Phoenix and the surrounding suburbs. Those places are definitely going to be cooler spots. Number 7, pro number 7, last but not least, VA benefits. For all of my military families out there and our active duty military, Arizona is one of the best places to be for our veterans and our military families. If you're a disabled veteran, you do get to go into a lot of the national parks for either free or a big discount. Again, you can camp at those places. Like Lake Pleasant is not far from the valley. It's maybe about 30 or 45 minutes depending on where you're coming from. Beautiful lake out there. There's restaurants out there on the water. So if you're a disabled vet, you can go in for free. But if you're military or family, or just even if you're not military, it's definitely a place to go. And it's not expensive at all. For all of our veterans, just know that the VA home loan, which you can use anywhere, is huge here in Arizona. You have no down payment for a home, no private mortgage insurance, and a lot of times you get better interest rates, which makes owning a home definitely more affordable for our veterans and military families. We have friendly employers. We have many businesses that offer discounts to our military and our military family. I feel like here in Arizona, as a vet myself, I feel like they really honor us and thank us for our service by giving us discounts and different deals, and they definitely make us feel honored and supported. So if you're a veteran, and just know that Luke Air Force Base is out here in Glendale, Arizona. There's places around it: Glendale, Litchfield Park, Avondale, Surprise, Peoria, that is directly surrounding it. But even if you live in the East Valley and you're a veteran or military, going to the base is not unreasonable when you're traveling or driving. We do have a lot more people coming here and a lot more driving, but it's not too far no matter where you want to live in the valley. And Luke Air Force Base is definitely a great Air Force base to go to, visit. And like I said, our military is definitely taken care of. So as you can see, I've been here at the Botanical Gardens. They're going to be opening soon. Definitely have some beautiful views inside the gardens. They have a rose garden, a Japanese garden. And right now our weather is definitely cooling off. We're in the end of September, beginning of October month. So definitely the weather's going to get cooler. And as I said, 300 days of good weather. So it's a perfect day to be out here hanging out at the Botanical Gardens. And as I've made this video, you probably see people getting ready to go in. There is another spot I want to show you when we talk about these cons. So stay posted, get some water, check your phones, check your messages. But again, if you're thinking about relocating here, you definitely want to know the good and the bad. And we're going to talk about these cons next. By the way, my name's Yolanda. I help people do this relocation thing every day. I get calls, texts, emails, and I provide information to anybody that's really thinking about relocating here. So if you're thinking about that, I definitely want you to reach out to me so we can make it smooth for you and as easy as possible. Moving can be stressful, but when you have help, it can be good stress, and we can get you here to the Valley of the Sun. Don't forget, subscribe below, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any videos, and let's jump into talking about these cons. Okay, so we have made it to Hole in a Rock. Beautiful place to be, especially on a great day. Look at this view, guys. Look at Hole in a Rock. So you hike up there, and once you hike, it gives you beautiful views into the zoo, overlooking the valley. Just great place to hit up. It's called Hole in a Rock. Again, all of this is right in the area of Botanical Gardens, like maybe 3 minutes away, and then you have the zoo. When you're actually at the top of Hole in the Rock, you can see into the zoo, and sometimes the animals are out. You got plenty of people hiking down right now. They've already been up there and they're hiking down. There's a ramada right there and a little fishing lake. So everybody's hiking down right now. How was it, guys? It was good? Right on, thank you. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah.
Right on. People walking down, everybody's still smiling. It's not a bad hike at all. It's a wonderful hike to go up and definitely worth the views. We can talk about our cons once we get up to the top, and you guys will be able to see beautiful views at the same time. So just stay tuned. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into these cons. Con number one, extreme hot weather. If you're not used to Arizona, you know that Arizona has temperatures that range from 105 degrees to 115 degrees, sometime June, July, and August. So if you're not from here and you're not used to these temperatures, then the weather can definitely cause you concern and issues until you get used to it. Now, we have 300 days, and I'm walking around. We have 300 days plus of warm weather, but there's a few months when the weather is a lot more than warm. So our temperature is something that is something you have to get used to. You have to get used to having higher electric bills during the summer. A lot of times you have to run the AC a lot lower to keep the temperature at a temperature that you like inside the house. A lot of people here have solar. That definitely helps out on our solar bills and keeps our electric high. I know I have solar, and my electric bill for the summer has been about $40 a month, which is really good. But if you don't have solar, you just got to plan for it. There's other ways to get around it, and that would be like maybe getting on the same year billing schedule, or there's certain times of the day when you do the high stuff like washing, drying, stuff like that. That definitely helps out on your bill. But if you can get used to our hot temperatures here in Arizona during the summer months, then the rest of it is beautiful. Now, con number two, monsoon season, which is dust storms and heavy rains. Usually June through September, we have monsoon season. And excuse me, I'm walking down right now. So as you can see, I got to kind of watch my step while we're talking about these cons. But monsoon season is usually June through September. It's just a quick heavy rain, maybe some thunderstorms, definitely dust. So if you're not used to dust, that's something that you will see during monsoon season. You learn to just do basic things to make sure that you're safe. Like if you're on the road and we have a dust storm, you want to make sure that if you cannot see, you move over and pull over on the side of the road. They say pulling to the right is the best thing to do. You pull over to the right, you make sure that you turn off your lights so the cars don't think you're moving, and then you pull over, and when you can see, you start again. If you own a home, they say definitely clean out your gutters on your home, make sure they're dust free. And then outside of having to dust the house, if you leave the windows open or something like that, we do welcome the rain here in Arizona. But outside of the rain, you may find that it rains for a quick 10 minutes. And then after that, it settles down and we're back to the beautiful weather. I find that if you watch a sunset right after the monsoon or right after a monsoon storm, those sunsets are really, really beautiful. So though monsoon season is our biggest disaster, I've been here, again, a native of Arizona. I don't find that it's a big deal as long as you kind of learn when it is and how to handle certain things, it's really not that big of a deal. I find this is a much better disaster, if that's what we want to call it, than some of the other disasters that you may find in other places like earthquakes, tornadoes, or something like that. So if you aren't used to monsoon season, it's definitely not something that's hard to get used to or hard to get equipped to. You'll be fine. Let's talk about con number 3. Con number 3 is going to be limited public transportation. So while Phoenix does have some bus routes and a little train that is mainly in the part of central Phoenix, Phx Arizona and the surrounding areas is definitely a car dependent state. You're going to want to have a car, and if you don't have a car, you want to definitely move to areas where we do have bus routes and or train that you can get back and forth to work. I always tell my clients, definitely do that research if you're not a driver, because most places here are going to be car dependent cities. In the areas of downtown, you're going to find that there's buses and the little light rail train. But outside of that, some of the outskirts and suburban cities, you're not going to have bus routes yet. I do know that they are doing different research and different tests to determine where they're going to put it. And as big as Phoenix is starting to get, I think that's a great idea. They're definitely going to need to add that at some point. So yeah, so just make sure if you're not a driver that either you consider getting a vehicle before you move here, or you move to an area where you at least have access to the public transportation that we do have. The next kind, let's talk about traffic. Phx Arizona and the surrounding cities is continuing to grow. As I talked about, we are booming in job market. We have great weather. So traffic is definitely becoming a thing. Now, traffic is nothing like you're going to find in some states like California, Georgia, different places like that. But we are going to have traffic, especially when it's like high peak hours, before work, after work, taking the kids to school. Right now, we still have really good traffic. The freeways move, you're on it, pretty good speed when it's the weekend still. So that's not really a big deal. And like in areas where we have like our sporting events, like at the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, you're going to find that, during those times there's traffic. Or, if you're downtown watching the Diamondbacks or the Phoenix Suns, you may find that there's a little traffic there. But outside of that, traffic is still pretty good around here. So, but it is continuing. And as I say, as we continue to grow, traffic may still be something that you want to watch out for or consider, especially if you work in one area or one city and you have to drive to other cities. Here in Arizona, we don't have toll roads like some states like California, Texas. We don't have toll roads, so you don't pay to get on the highway where you can drive faster. We do have carpool lanes where you have to have more than 2 people in the car. So if you're traveling to work solo, you're really not supposed to be in the carpool lane. And if you do, it's definitely going to cost you more. So you don't want to be in that lane unless you're okay with chancing a ticket. But we don't have tolls. So if you're working in one city and have to drive to another city, you definitely want to make sure that you leave and have time. At some point, we may have toll roads, but as of right now, we don't. Now, con number 5 is going to be water usage and environmental concerns when it comes to our water. Because we don't get a lot of rain here, and sometimes we go long periods of time without water, we do rely heavily on water from the Colorado River and some other sources. So water is something that they have planned for over the last few years and came up with different ways to make it so our water isn't a big issue. But with the water and the drought and, because we don't get a lot of rain, water concern is something that has pretty much made them have to plan and start planning for long-term usage of water. I don't think we're ever going to run out of water and get to the point of where, we can't be here because there's no water. But because they see stuff coming, they definitely have started to come up with plans for our water usage and making sure that it doesn't become a huge issue as far as our water is concerned. I know suburbs like Scottsdale, and I'm still watching my step. As you guys can see, I'm almost down at the bottom. So I'm just watching my step while I am walking and talking at the same time. I just felt like do the cons here because it's a beautiful view and you guys can really see some of the beauty here in Arizona. But places like Scottsdale and some other surrounding cities, they're already, making plans to conserve our water and just doing whatever they're needing to do to make sure that we don't have any water issues. Con number 6 is going to be our air quality. As you can know, Arizona is here in the desert. How are you guys doing? Arizona is here in the desert. So if you're not used to the desert and the dust, and you have, respiratory concerns or allergies or asthma or something like that, and you're not used to it, you're from like the East Valley or the South or something like that, and you don't see as much dust. When you move here to Arizona, you may have to get used to some of the dust that we have and or take the precautions that you need for your health because of the dust. Seasonal allergies is a thing here, pretty normal. Most people say that their asthma actually improves here in Arizona, so I would say it's mostly going to be allergy issues and or respiratory issues. If you have those issues or concerns, you want to definitely do your research before you move here to Arizona, so you don't find yourself in a worse situation than you want to be. Now, last but not least, we have con number 7. Con number 7 is going to be education system challenges. What I mean by that is Arizona ranks nationally below average as far as public school funding. So because our funds are a little more limited, you might want to definitely research what city you're going to stay in, what school you're going to put your kids in. Make sure that if it's going to be a public school, that you want to check those funds. We do have charter schools here in Phoenix and the surrounding areas. We have private schools, and we have plenty of them. So it gives you plenty of options on where you want to put your kiddos in school. Just do the research that you need to do so that we can make sure that whatever you choose definitely fits the needs for you and your family. Now, that was all 7 cons and all 7 pros. Arizona, by all means, is not a perfect state to live in, but it's definitely a state that has a lot to offer. Again, we talked about the good stuff and the bad stuff, and I feel, honestly, not just saying it because I'm a native of Arizona, but I feel like it definitely has a lot to offer compared to many other states. I was born here and raised here in Arizona. I did move away. I've stayed in other states like Virginia, Texas, different places like that. And I made my way back to Arizona. And I must say, it's because Arizona is a beautiful state. So if you're thinking about relocating here to Arizona again in the next year, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days, reach out to me so I can definitely answer any questions, make your transition as smooth as possible. My name is Yolanda Street. I'm part of the Living in Phoenix team. I get calls, texts every day, and I help people move here and transition here, and everything does go smooth. So, hey, check out my other videos, subscribe below. That way you never miss out on another video. Can't wait to see you out there on the street.